and to be observed completely, so that nothing be diminished, and that they make no objection to this or any part of it, nor suffer it to be made, for as much as we from this time forward, by this our letter, bestow on you the employment of admiral, viceroy, and perpetual governor forever, and we put you in possession of the said offices and every of them, and full power to use and exercise them, and to receive the prerequisites and salaries belonging to them or any of them, as we said above. Now that was all one sentence, folks. Concerning all which things, if it be requisite, and you shall desire it, we command our chancellor, notaries, and other officers to pass, seal, and deliver to you our letter of privilege in such form and legal manner as you shall require or stand in need of, and that none of them presume to do anything to the contrary upon pain of our displeasure and forfeiture of 30 ducats for each offense. And we command him who shall show them this our letter, that he summon them to appear before us at our court, where we shall be within 15 days after such summons, under the said penalty, under which same we also command any public notary whatsoever, that he give to him that showeth him a certificate under his seal, that we may know how our command is obeyed. This was given at Granada on the 30th of April in the year of our Lord, 1492, by I the Queen, I the King, by their Majesty's command, and John Coloma, Secretary to the King and Queen, and entered according to order Roderick with Doctor, Sebastian de Lona, Francis de Madrid, counselors, and registered. And the source of this is the federal and state constitutions, colonial charters, and other organic laws of the state, territories, and colonies. Now or hereto forming the United States of America, compiled and edited under the Act of Congress of June 30th, 1906, by Francis Newton Thorpe, in Washington, D.C., Government Printing Office, 1909. Now, the Sunday school version that we all got on Christopher Columbus sailing the ocean blue in 1492 was, of course, another diversionary tactic of these grand elites. Now, on another note, I have from the book The Great Controversy on page 89, this is referring to the Waldenses. Now, that was a group of people that were considered the heretics by the Catholic Church. Now, this is in 1487. Okay, this is 5 years before the Catholic Majesties sent Christopher Columbus out. Now, we're clearly shown that he's a viceroy for the king. Now, roy means king, and vice means instead of. So Christopher Columbus is acting instead of the king in this country for all court cases, and you heard them clearly read, okay? It's sheriffs, judges, everything. So this is establishing who the courts are, who they work for, clearly for the Catholic Majesties that own everything, and all of your courts, all of your counselors, and your Admiralty Court was clearly established right here, 1492. Now, in 1487, a bull was written by Pope Innocent VIII. Now, a bull is an edict, an order. A king's order and a pope's order can never be repealed, okay? So here's a little establishment of this bull that was written. It says, now when Rome at one time determined to exterminate the hated sect, that was the Waldenses, a bull was issued by Pope Innocent VIII in 1487, condemning them as heretics, okay? Now it starts into the next paragraph with the details. It says, the bull called upon members of the church to join in the crusade against the heretics as an incentive to engage in this cruel work. It absolved all from ecclesiastical pains and penalties, general and particular. It released all who joined the crusade from any oaths they might have taken. It legitimized their title to any property which they might have illegally acquired, and promised remission of all their sins to such as should kill any heretic. It annulled all contracts made in favor of the Vadoi, ordered their domestics to abandon them, forbade all persons to give them any aid whatever, and empowered all persons to take possession of their property. Okay? Now, that's on page 89 of The Great Controversy. Now, I'm trying to explain to you folks why this country is in such a bad mess. If you think you're going to get remedy in the court, no. You're just going to the Pope and telling the Pope that the Pope is a bad person, and he's really not going to give you any remedy. So there's two powerful documents that's going to show how far back this country has been damaged. Now, I can also cross-reference this to a few more documents that I have up here. We have, as I spoke with Karen Hudis just yesterday and watched a new video that she just put out. She's quite a brilliant woman. She, in fact, Rod, is listening to the type of work that we're putting out. Her video yesterday referred to how people are being traded through their birth certificates. So the people that are giving her the research are obviously listening to our work. But what she referred to is that the King of England no longer had the power, but I have in front of me also called King John's Concession to the King, King John's Concession of the Kingdom to the Pope. Now, this was done in 1213. Now, also in 1213 was the Magna Carta. That also was a joke. But here we have in 1213, King John's Concession of the Kingdom to the Pope. That's 1213. So what we have is the king no longer owns the kingdom, the Pope does. Now I have another document by the informer that was called the Vatican Connection to England. Let's see, the United States is still a British colony. That's a 211-page document. It says the United States is still a British colony, extorting taxes for the crown. Okay, now the crown no longer is the king. The crown is the Pope. But also the crown is actually the bar and the banking association. So the United States is still a British colony. Now I put a paper out defining the word colony. Please look up in your dictionaries the word colony. The colony is a group of people that is established under the government from someplace else, in a short nutshell. But the King John's Concession of the Kingdom to the Pope, again, I'm showing you the facts that everything is run by the Pope. Now, just a few weeks ago, the Pope says, well, he doesn't like capitalism. He wants socialism. Folks, that's him telling you, I don't need capitalism anymore. I own everything, so now I want socialism to make sure that I can keep it all. Henceforth, your new world order. And the whole thing is under the United Nations. Now, what's happening with the school systems now is all of the books are coming in through the United Nations. Now, the United Nations books are from Alice Bailey, a 33rd degree Mason, and they are published from the Lucic Trust Company, formerly called the Lucifer Publishing Company. They are all satanic. You can verify this through Charles Wheeling and Walter Weiss on their videos. They're quite profound. They will give you historical documents on all of this. Like I said, Rod, I've been doing this for so many years that even though my computer and all my files were stolen, I can shut my eyes and see all of the files plain as day. So I've got a lot of evidence on this of how this country is being destroyed. It's through the Catholic Church. It's the Holy Roman Catholic Church. Now, on some of these charters from the 1600s, also all available on the Avalon Project, it makes it very clear that when it talks about